All right, welcome to our third edition of this help for planning. The problem we have is this, where our topography is a little high, and our house is, topography has been linked into the house drawing that you were given, and we want to basically at this point bring the topography down. The one I'm using exactly the same example as I was using a couple of weeks ago when we put in this cut and fill, or this pad in here. So that's an added complexity. If you haven't got one of those, that's fine, because you can create the pad from scratch in here, or you can I can show you how to delete this one if it's already in your file. And I suppose if you once you delete it, you should be able to re-go through the steps and just do another pad in this file here. So the first thing we want to do is actually make this link part of this file, rather. That way we can move it down anyway now, but we want to make a part of this so we can actually do cut and fill on it in this file. All right, so if it's a link, we can't. All right, so what I'm going to do is highlight it, which I have, and just brings up these two extra buttons here. And I'm going to use the bind link button. So if I click on that, it says attach details. Okay, so it's got three options: attach details, what to link, levels, and grids. So you can bring in any of those options. I probably, because I've got the level there for the pad, I might be able to reuse it. So in my case, I'll bring the levels in. I don't need any grids. I haven't got any anyway, so I'll just leave that off. So go OK, and it'll come up with the usual things when you bring something into a drawing, where it finds the same thing, like it's a fill pattern or a level or something like that, and it says there's one already in here, so that's fine. It usually renames the ones we bring in anyway. So here it came up with all these things here saying basically you have to remove the link still from the manage tab, but it gives you the option to remove it here. There's 8. I've got 8 notices here. The other ones are basically telling me just what I said earlier. There's a center line that's been duplicated and things like that. It's nothing to worry about. I'm just going to click on remove link, and I didn't press OK, but because the press OK will remove link. So I'm going to remove link, but it does actually bind it. I can tell it's bound now because apart from the fact I can go to manage and just check here. There's no Revit links in here, so it did remove it. But if I have a look at this, it's got this dashed sort of cube. That means it's a group. If I click on it, it says edit group, ungroup, or I can turn the group back into a link again, or like a Revit file. Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to ungroup it. Really, I just want to edit it. Now, if I edit the group, it gives me this little tab here, which I can add or remove objects into the group. But I don't know if I want to remove this pad here. Well, I can either remove it or leave it in here. It's up to you. It's just as easy. If I delete it, I just click on there and just minus for remove. But that does not delete it from the file. It just puts it outside the group. So basically, you want to delete it if you don't want to see it again. So basically what I want to do is just a normal delete. For example, if I don't want it, I'll just press the delete on my keyboard and it's gone, basically. But so I suppose you might want to delete it if it came across from somewhere else. More than likely your current house is not going to be on the same thing that we were mucking around 2 weeks ago, so perhaps I'll delete it and I'll just go finish. But I do still have, for example, if I go like this here, like a crossing window, I do have two topographies. Where we duplicated one before we actually put in the pad, and we put one in existing face filter face. Let's have a look. So if I just click on one of them, that's a new construction. It says new surface on there. We gave it a name. If I hang around and go tab ones and then click, I get the existing construction one. So that's also I'm surprised here is under new construction. I'm not sure why, but before we duplicated it, we actually put it in existing. Yeah. So again, if you're planning to go ahead and I suppose do another pad, I would say probably delete one of these as well, and then you can start from beginning. So if I have a look now here, I've got one called existing surface. It's a new construction, but you will be putting it in existing construction, existing phase created. Then it's basically ready to be duplicated using the grade. If you remember, we used the massing inside. We used the grade region a command to actually duplicate it. But we're not going to do that now. We're more interested in moving this thing down. So now I finished with my grouping. I'll just finish deleting stuff from the group. So I'm just going to finish it. So now I've got a clean surface to play with, and basically that's it. Now I'm going to move to an elevation view, and I'll get this thing here. I don't know where it is at this point, but I'm going to move it down. So as you can see, that level I brought in, the pad level, is still there. If you haven't got a level there already, then it doesn't matter. You're going to have to create one after when you do your pad anyway, but I thought I'll save that. Because in my case, I'm going to use that to guide me a little bit where I thought my house was going to go last time, but that level can change. So what I'm going to do to move it is just click on here. Basically, I'm clicking on, now when I just clicked on there, see how it's picking up the group. I'm not picking up individual elements in the group. So it's going to pick up the level and whatever else, the surface, and bring everything down. So I'm going to go move after I highlight it. And I'm going to pick it up from on the level here, somewhere on the level, because then I've got something to be guided from. And I'm going to put it on the finished floor level here. So I'm going to go right on the finished floor level, which is along that line there. That line does continue. If you haven't got a line continuing along here, you can just type in S for Sam, P for Peter, SP, which stands for, correct, it's not perpendicular. Yes. So if there's nothing there, then you can actually go where there is something, say on the right hand side, and just as long as you go somewhere on there, you can see on the left hand side it's snapping perpendicular to that line there. Oh my goodness, look at that. That looks so horribly wrong, doesn't it? But it is all right, because it did put the pad where I wanted it to put it, so it's fine. It might just not be the right level we want, but I'll move it down another 100 from there now while I've got it highlighted. So that was my reference. Now I'm going to move it another 100 from there down 100, enter. All right, so that's where it is. Let's have a look at that in 3D now. Oh yeah. Oh, okay, so that stuff down the bottom was this. So this was part of the group, of course. That 2D plan of the trees was part of the group. What I should have done actually is this. I'll just undo that and I'll show you what I should have done. I forgot that those things were there. Let me just undo that and I'll show you what I should have done. I should have highlighted this, edit the group, and then move the bits I want, because I want to leave the 2D there where the house is at that level. So I don't want to move that. All I want to move within the group is actually just that and the level. So let me just go and now I've got to do. I can't do it from 3D, but I can do it from an elevation like south. So I'm going to go there. So yeah, now I can just pick the two bits that I actually want. That one, control key, and this one. That way, I'll only just move those, and my original 2D plan will stay where it was for reference. Okay, so we'll just redo that. Move, and then pick it up from there, and then go down perpendicular to that line there. It's already there, so that's all good. There it is. So now I look at that in 3D before I finish editing. Now that's moved. Okay, let's see. Ooh, it's a bit shaky, but it's there. There it is. All right, so that's where my house was, and yours might be somewhere else. All right, so now I can finish this group editing, and that is now part. Now it's come down. Now, if I look at the south elevation, I do have my on a pad level. Oh, did I not move it down one more time? Sorry. Okay, let's try again. I didn't move it 100, so let's just easy to do. Just edit the group and just pick up this and pick up the pad level. That might be harder to find now. Tab. That is. I don't know what that is. All right, so let's see if I can find it. The problem is now the pad level is underneath something else, so I'll just have to I can either undo or just hide this line here perhaps, just to see if I can get to the pad level. Still can't get to it there. I can get to it by tabbing over this, and now I can control and get the thing here, and then I can move that 100 down. Okay. All right, so now I can finish it, and I can unhide that line if I really want to. All right, so that's the and now the other thing down here, let's go to 3D and see what's going on here, because I'm not sure whether there's anything down there. Why that? No, there's nothing. Sure what that is. Let's go back to 2D. Change. I'm not sure what this is. It might be something that I to do with my pad earlier, but I don't really know what that is at this point. So I don't know what that thing is. Actually, I can't even pick it from here because I am not editing the group. I can ungroup it, of course. Now that I got it down here, I can totally ungroup that, so I don't have to worry about groups anymore. That's fine. So now I can just zoom in here, and this is just like any other entity or object on here. But there's nothing. I can't pick this thing up. I don't know what that black thing is. Zooming in, I don't know. But anyhow, if I go to 3D now, this is what I've got. There. So I've got a position here, so I can if I decide I can move it down more. You know how to do that. The trees are sort of already there. You just have to move them up a little bit, perhaps. But that topography is on, should be lining up exactly on top of our site. I've got a site. Here it is. Now the topography is not really showing here, but if I go to VV, let's see, maybe it's turned off. Yeah, it is turned off. So you can turn on topography if you want on here. And once you do that, you get basically get the new topography there. You can actually shade it, whatever. But it is grey because I did, if you remember, put it in existing face created. When you when you select it, did I get it? When you select it and you go to graded region, if I can find it, there, that's the topography. Sorry, you got to go graded region. and you go create a new one exactly the same as the other one, you should, in theory, put that one in. Let's have a look. Yeah, it should in theory put that one in the new face filter, and it should come out green in theory. But that's, I won't prolong this one. But any questions at all? Because then you can, I suppose, then you can do your pad like the previous procedure after that. That was the aim of this, was to bring this down to the right level and then go from there. I'll let you play with it for a bit and see if you can achieve that, those of you that have to. And if there's any questions you can add to this.